And oh yes, slightly used.
$4.
Wow.
Very stylish.
It may include all the usual retail departments, clothing, sporting goods, even jewelry, but this is no ordinary department store.
Here we go.
We are the final resting place for lost luggage that comes from all around the world.
Welcome to the Unclaimed Baggage Center in Scottsboro, Alabama. A one-of-a-kind retail grab bag of one's own, presently unclaimed, occasionally valuable, and frequently fascinating merchandise.
Lots of treasures. You just never know. You really need to come every day. Sometimes twice a day.
It's really kind of an archaeological dig. I mean, you open a bag up and you get a cross-section of what's going on in society.
Whatever it is, you'll find it among 7,000 new items brought to the store every day, all courtesy of suitcases that the major air carriers claim cannot be reunited with their owners. The process is quite simple. After 90 days of the airlines trying to locate the owners, the luggage is picked up at airports around the country, shipped to the Unclaimed Baggage Center, opened, dry cleaned, and cataloged.
Good afternoon, Unclaimed Baggage Center. And this retails for?
It was appraised for $12,000.
And you bought it for?
And I paid $4,000 for it.
Several times a day, staffers roll out carts of new items for sale with regular patrons ready to pounce on the pickings.
I'm taking it. It was $18 last week.
You go, girl.
Part of the allure is that you never quite know what you'll find. Over the center's 34 years, there have been plenty of one-of-a-kind items.
Bagpipes.
Yeah. A violin, rugs.
Egyptian artifacts that date back to 1500 BC.
With more than 1 million items rolling out of the suitcases and into the center every year, it's no wonder that bargain hunters by the hundreds of thousands annually head down to Scottsboro in search of forgotten treasure that someone left behind.
You go, girl. And nearly 3 million bags were unclaimed last year alone.
So what's the hottest holiday gift this year? Well, hang on to your wallet. The Consumer Electronic Association says most Americans want a plasma TV this year. But the high prices, of course, keep most from getting one. Last year, DVD players were tops on the list. TVs aside, electronics experts say many people will buy more affordable digital cameras this year.
All right, and if you're beginning your Christmas shopping, good luck with that. I know Shannon Prine this morning talking about doing internet shopping, so that might be a way to go, although the stores don't like that. If you are headed outdoors for the weekend, it is going to be slightly warmer tomorrow, and then the trend, as you'll note, coming up in the next 4 to 5 day period, spectacular. We're talking numbers all the way back up near 60 in November. We're clipping right along towards winter season. It is deceiving again outside tonight as it was today. Sunshine around made it seem like it should have felt a little warmer today, but numbers coming in only in the mid-40s for most areas. We're down to 33 now, one click above the freezing mark, and the wind's still on the light side from the north-northeast at 5. That's good news. They've been rather brisk, and the setup is for a chilly night indeed tonight. Temperatures tonight much colder than they were this morning by a good degree, and then as we head through the next 3 to 4 day period, we'll begin to transition a little bit. The surface map's actually showing the setup. The winds were actually picked up between the system off the coast and the area of high pressure back to the west, sort of drawing in that wind. But as that area of high pressure has gotten a little closer, it shut the winds down, and that actually works against us as far as the temperatures go tonight. Combine that with the clear skies, and the temperatures are just really expected to drop another 7, maybe 8, 9 degrees overnight tonight. Skies are clear as far as the eye can see upstream. This is where our weather's coming in from, and this will be the case for tonight. Flip side of that, though, does include plenty of sunshine tomorrow, and again, a click or two warmer as far as temperatures. 33 here, already at freezing as you get into parts of Michigan and below upstream. Really, we're not advecting in or moving in a cold batch of air. We're just taking away what little warmth we had from the day, and that's going to set the stage for temperatures tonight to be in the low 20s. And not unlikely that many folks tomorrow morning will be waking up with temperatures in the teens. So a hard freeze indeed, the coldest of the season, with today being a 27, the coldest so far. 33 at Pittsburgh, 30 you are in Butler, at 31 in Morgantown, below freezing and below the 30-degree mark in Latrobe, 27 in Johnstown, at 25 in Indiana. So we start the day tomorrow very cool, and we gradually warm things up. The driving influence will be the area of high pressure, and as it slides towards us a little bit, it'll drop the winds. That'll allow for a better feel to the air tomorrow. Shouldn't be as much of a wind chill around. And with the dry air, we have an abundance of sunshine.
police lying. The system is very, very fallible. And maybe it is understandable. Given the enormous volume of criminal cases today, mistakes happen. Lies happen. It is a byproduct of the system that I can almost comprehend. But what I can't fathom is when we have the ability to find out the truth through DNA evidence, we don't. In 48 states, this being one of them, prisoners do not have the right to a simple DNA test that could prove their innocence. You wouldn't let us have one, Judge. We had to go to the father of the victim. Miraculously, he let us dig up his daughter. And after we did that, did the test on our own, we pretty much proved Stuart Donovan's innocence. And still, it hasn't ended. Mr. Stanfield now gets up, changes the prosecution's theory, and refocuses the court's attention on eyewitness testimony and a jailhouse informant, which everyone in this room regards as suspect. As technically admissible as it may be on evidentiary grounds, none of us in this room fully believe that snitch. None of us fully trust that eyewitness account, and a man is going to die. Is our system about getting convictions? Is that it? My co-counsel, Eugene Young, told me not to take this case personally. How can I not? How can't we all? A man. An innocent man is going to die. As human beings, as officers of this court, as players in this system, how do we not take that personally?
Baseball season imperfect. Here, bases and cameras are always loaded. RBI stands for Really Big Ice Cream, and the home team's record is spotless, as are their uniforms. Of course, life isn't always perfect, so there's Walgreens, open every day, many 24 hours, with everything needed to have a little fun. That's life. This is Walgreens.
Hey, what state to get an Arbor Mist?
Oh, I don't know. Surprise us.
An Arbor Mist for that?
Yeah. New from Arbor Mist. Island Fruits Pinot Grigio. Great tasting wine, a splash of fruit. Wow. Now that deserves an Arbor Mist. Also try new Sangria Arbor Mist wine blenders. 2 more reasons you can't resist the mist.
Rick thinks a $239 monthly payment to buy a $19,000 car is a good deal. But even with 0 interest and a $2,000 rebate, it'll take him 71 months to finally be the owner of a 6-year-old used car. Shauna thinks leasing an Accord LX for $199 a month for 36 months is better, because in 3 years she can get another new Accord while Rick has another 3 years of payments to go. Smart thinking. Now you can lease an Accord LX for $199 a month for 36 months.
This is how Paris does white, and this is how Crest does white. New Crest Vivid White toothpaste can give you a whiter smile in 14 days. It's the white you'll wear year-round.
Sweet! Now that's what I'm talking about.
Crest Whitening Expression. The power of Crest Whitening with flavor so exhilarating you just can't keep it to yourself.
Hot baby, you know it.
Crest Whitening Expression.
June bonus days are almost over, and you've got only 1 week to deal at your Chrysler and Jeep dealer. Until June 30th, get 0% financing on PT Cruiser, Pacifica, Grand Cherokee, and Liberty, and make no monthly payments till 05. Or choose a cash allowance and get $1,000 on the new 05 Town & Country. Plus, finance through Chrysler Financial and get an additional $1,000 bonus cash for up to $4,500 in total cash allowances on select models. So hurry in during June bonus days. You've only got 1 week to deal.
The police discovered you having sex with her.
But she was already dead.
It's a case so disturbing.
Every time you take cases like this, you just turn angry.
It's sending Eugene Young over the edge.
Whatever you're feeling.
I don't feel anything. I'm a defense attorney. It's not my job to feel.
On The Practice.
I hear Ms. Brutt's frustration, her emotion. I'd like the court to consider it from our side and from the victims' families. You find the person who commits the murder, you put that person on trial, you secure a conviction. That's not easy these days. But even when you're lucky enough to get that far, the defense attorneys keep coming back over and over and over again, raising constitutional claims, saying that the previous attorneys weren't good enough. 12 years they've been coming back on this one. 12 years. This father, this husband, has been waiting for this to be over. And this on a case where the defendant confessed. This on a case where we have eyewitness testimony. Most times, the defense attorneys are in here trying to free their clients on technical grounds, exalting the system above all else. But here, where the system has been adhered to, where the evidence is all sound, technically, they're in here we have his confession on record. The jury believed that confession. Why don't we just let everybody go?
Persuaded by defense counsel's arguments that before we put a man to death, we should be sure of the person's guilt and not simply limit our inquiry as to whether the trial was technically sound from an evidentiary standpoint. That seems so obvious. But Mr. Stanfield's contention is also a valid one. We could keep re-evaluating evidence ad nauseum forever. The point of a trial is to reach a final verdict on the facts. And though it would be nice to reconsider the confession, take a second and third look at the testimony, if we did that for one, we'd have to do it for all. And if we did it for all, surely the court dockets would clog beyond repair and there would be no justice for anybody. Ms. Frutz, it was the confession and the eyewitness testimony that convicted your clients. Both of these elements were vigorously challenged at trial. And though you'd clearly like to keep on renewing the challenge, under the law, you don't get to. Not with what you brought me. But, Mr. Stanfield, had you had this DNA evidence, clearly you would have investigated the possibility of another suspect. You didn't. I am an old man. I look at each cigarette as possibly my last. My last breath won't be spent executing a man I now think is probably innocent. The conviction is set aside. Mr. Donovan, you are free with the apologies of this court. Adjourned.